Hello everyone. Today I'm quite excited to be doing this Q&A. I feel like I haven't answered or sat down and just done a chatty video in a long time. I'm going to try to answer as many questions as possible. This is my last day in New York. As I get ready to leave, I wanted to start this Q&A. How is Unemployed Millennial podcast doing? I wanted to just get it out the door. I think a lot of my issue sometimes is just sitting on things, waiting for them to be perfect. And I recently did a podcast with Danny Miranda, who I really look up to as a podcaster. He, after 280 episodes, got his first sponsor. I knew that it would be a long journey to even monetize it, but that also really had me thinking is I really wanted to try to just earn money so that I could fund my podcast. I'm working with a team, I have an editor, I have someone doing my shorts, and this all requires me supporting other people by paying them. And so it's been kind of nice because it's motivated me to do these things for a reason outside of myself. And I think kind of everything that I do, it's it needs to be something greater than just myself, content with a purpose. With all that being said, that's probably why you haven't seen it or me talking about it a ton. I have a handful of episodes, but in the new year, I want to start being very consistent, and I will actually have had the time over the last 6 months of saving up to actually do the things that I want to do with my podcast. I'm very excited for 2023, and I'm super excited to integrate that into my videos this next year. A lot of questions about how long I'm planning on staying in New York. Do I plan on moving back or what? I've kind of answered this in my why I left New York video that I did probably 6 months ago. New York is extremely expensive if you are self-employed. You have to make 40 times your monthly rent in income. I predicted this kind of in the summer when the rent was at an all-time high. I was rent is so high right now. People want to travel, I think now more than ever, even just in the US. I foresaw that a lot of people would sublease their places for a few months or a few weeks. Even what Elena is doing, she's traveling right now, or I think she's home. And so I'm just paying her rent while she's gone. So it's kind of as long as she can trust me as a person, it's a win-win because this place is empty otherwise, and I don't have to sign a lease for a year and, spend a bunch of money. My theory was kind of true. I have a friend, a classmate from USC today who posted on his story, I'm trying to sublease my place for the next few months. Is anyone interested? And I'm me. And I also really like that because then I can explore different neighborhoods once I'm ready to settle down in a place. If it's New York, then I know better where I would want to be than if I just hadn't done this way. With my podcast, I want to do as many episodes in person as possible while I'm young. I have no family obligations. I don't have kids and I'm not even dating. So I have the ultimate freedom. However, my content just does better in New York. Even before I moved here, I was New York City will be the next clickbait thing. When I was in college, after I left college vlogs were a clickbait topic on its own. Even Luke told me this. He we had lunch together with our management, and he was you were saying that New York City would be a topic on its own. That's very true. That's not to say anything taking away from New York. It's an incredible city on its own. But it is a trend right now. You can look at all the titles that say NYC, New York City. So I've kind of been thinking about the idea of maybe coming back more frequently, making my videos here, and then doing my podcast. But right now, I really like this traveling lifestyle. And I just think that there's so much more to see in the world. I love New York. I love coming here, but I also am very interested in podcasting in San Francisco or Austin or LA. Just so many places that I just want to go all over the place. I have friends all over the US who I still haven't seen or visited that have been asking me to come for years. Committing to a year-long lease right now just doesn't really make sense for me. However, I do think that the routine and the stability could be really nice. Even with my friend groups, I'm just meeting so many people. At some point, I'm gonna need to stop and focus. Who do I really need to dedicate my time and energy to? The ultimate currency that you have is time and attention and presence. And right now I'm kind of all over the place. So I'm first going to go bike over to look at a place that I would potentially want to stay at in the coming months. I literally bike everywhere while I'm here. I love biking, and I love that you can actually get around pretty far in Manhattan just by biking. This is Matt.
Went to USC with Anne-Marie. Been living here for 3 years now, working at various startups. This is the room.
Freaking Peloton. Great working space. It's very homey.
So
What? Okay, this is amazing. I just checked out Matt's place. It was beautiful. It's like the end of December and it's too hot. Like I don't want to wear my jacket. I just don't have anywhere to put it. There are so many people out. It's Friday. It's also just like stunning out. So it's a good day to just be walking around and biking.
Bacon, egg, and cheese. Bagel boss, yeah.
What's your name?
Sawyer.
Okay, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
I'm eating at this place called Bagel Boss. This actually says Unemployed Millennial, for short. So I've had a long journey with dropping my phone, and so I'm actually really grateful. I got these at Case.fi. Case.fi is the world's most popular tech accessory brand, known for their protective phone cases and their global collaborations. Oh, that's cold. You are in the exact spot that my old phone broke. Do you see those cracks? Just imagine me coming up in the summer with my little snacks, and then I just drop my phone, and then I pick it up, it's broken, and then I can't take a selfie for like 3 months, which is tragic for everyone. But with my Case.fi phone, my iPhone is completely fine, and my camera. These are the clear cases. You can drop this one from up to 6 feet. This case is made from 65% recycled and plant materials. UV Defender Tech prevents yellowing. For those who desire extreme protection, the Bounce case. These have expanded corners so that when you drop it, your phone just simply bounces. Drop up to 21.3 feet. You can just drop this like off your roof. There are over 2,000 prints to choose from, or you can also customize your own case. Case.fi has an artist program, so for the print cases like these ones, they're working with their partnered artists that are global and diverse, helping to support the artist community. If you go to case.fi.com/annemariechase, you can get 15% off your order. Back to New York City, where I'm eating a bagel.
Twisted wrist dot band. Twisted. No, not.
Okay, here's what this looks like. I actually tried to stop eating bacon. This has a lot of bacon on it. But sometimes I just like to ask people what their favorite food is if they work there. It's really putting trust in another person's taste. But sometimes you get some really good things. So. Okay, the guy knows what he's talking about. What is one thing you're most proud of achieving / doing this year? I think I am the woman, or like the girl, that my younger self would look up to. I follow my values, I do what I think is right, and if I don't think I'm doing something right, I course correct, and I don't let other people's opinions like sway what I'm doing in my own actions. That's what I'm proud of. What's your name? Kavya, hi! Thank you for saying hi. So sweet. Are you dating right now, and what's your type? I am not dating anyone. I have not dated since 2019, and I intentionally took time off because I was like a serial monogamist, meaning that I just jumped from long-term relationship to long-term relationship. And I always tell this to people, you have to be single at some point in your adult life, in my opinion. I think I'm at a place where I'm interested in dating. I think for the last pretty much all of 2022, I was like trying to figure out my career, get my shit together. But I feel like I'm in a mental headspace and point in my life where I would like to start dating again. I'm ready to date. I'm about to bike back. I hope this place is not too loud, but I wanted to answer another question outside. Nama Sayagi asks, do you speak Korean with your grandparents? Unfortunately, my grandma on my mom's side, my Korean grandma, the matriarch of all of my cousins from my Costa Rica vlogs, she passed away in September. It was actually when Aiden was visiting me in Alaska. I really want to learn Korean because I feel like it'll open up like a whole new world. An observation that I've had this year, everyone's grandparents are passing away. I know 5 grandparents who have passed away, which is crazy. And also the queen. My grandpa just passed away on 12/22/22 this year. This year is just like very, very weird on many levels. One of the takeaways that I got, I think it's helped me gain more strength in everything that I'm trying to do. I'm a very like patient, persistent person, but I can take long on some things, like longer than necessary, just trying to gather as much information as possible. And I'm just like, wow, I might be dead soon. Who knows? Maybe with Corona or long-term COVID. So it's kind of helped just put things into perspective, even though that's very morbid. So I'm going to go home now. I'm so excited. I am so tired. Shopping is exhausting. Why do people do it? I'm excited. I'm meeting up with Ryan and Elliot and Nick for dinner. So maybe I'll answer some questions with them.
Hi guys.
I knew I was gonna run into someone. Hello, Emma.
Literally like right as you were, it was like a movie
I saw
scene.
you and I was like, oh, who's that beautiful girl? How are you?
I'm so great.
Know everyone.
Yeah. Henry's here. They Leo walked away, but his coffee shop is right around the corner. Cafe Lyria. That's where we just went.
I think it's so funny that I ran into Emma. That girl is an omen in my life. What's a good book you read lately? I'm reading this book right now called It's in Your Head, or It's All in Your Head by Russ. Danny Miranda recommended it to me. I mentioned that I think Emma is like an omen in my life. I think I knew of her through Colt, and he told me about her one time. The first time I was staying here, I went to the coffee shop nearby, and then I saw like a New York Times article, and it was Emma. And I was like, wow, that's so crazy, because Colt had told me about her. She's an entrepreneur. She's like really out here doing. I think a lot of people have so many great ideas, but it's hard to actually act on them. But that's what counts. Like, you can have the best ideas in the world, but if you never take a step towards them, then it's just gonna stay in your head. So that's why I'm reading that book, It's All in Your Head. Because I think I've gotten better at taking action, but I could still use like a lot of help. So I really admire Emma because she just like is out here doing stuff. Like, she has her own thrift store, social media, doing really cool stuff. The last book I read was this book called The Alchemist. You all probably have heard of it. It's a book that I had heard that I should read for so long, and I just never had picked it up. And then my friend Chris Duncan, told me to read the book, or he said it was his favorite book, and we attended this thing called Summit together. We experienced so many like synchronicities. That was like the word that I used, or omens. And I actually started using the word omens because of one of the speakers there, Esther Perel. So you have like good omens and you have bad omens. And the good omens or synchronicities or serendipities is like the universe's way of telling you that you're on the right path. So I say that because I've had weirdly like a lot of omens with Emma. Like, her street is on Allen Street. She was like in this paper when I had been thinking of reaching out to her. And even like I went to an event the previous day and like I met one of the people who wrote an article on her. Just like all these things that was like, okay, if I don't reach out to her, then that'd be a missed opportunity. It'd be my fault. Like, it'd just be me being in my own head and not reaching out for that reason. And I think I approach life kind of the same way that The Alchemist talks about. It's like, this guy is a shepherd trying to find his treasure that he had a dream about. I've been having some interesting dreams too. And he basically just like uses these omens to help him understand the world around him and guide him on his path and his like journey to his personal mission. I'm at Elliot's and we're going to work out. I really wasn't gonna work out, but I'm doing this like program, and my coach texted me mostly to wish me a happy new year, but she also was like, excited for you to get your workout in. So I'm like, okay, I'll go. Because I definitely probably won't get it in tomorrow. I'm traveling like all day. So it'll be nice to be like worked out on the plane.
Hi, welcome. Ow.
Warm up. Have you ever struggled with overthinking? If so, any tips to overcome this? Something that has really helped me is a separation of mind and body. I think like overthinkers live so much in their mind, but there's like this whole world. It's helpful to get into your body by doing things. For me, like the changing point was like yoga or walking. You can tell when you're in a flow state. You're not like overthinking because you're not in your mind. Your mind and your body are working like in flow. So I think it's helpful to just learn the separation, and to do that you have to be able to get into your body. And so again, yoga I think is a great way to do that, but even like walks and exercising, I think the key to everything is awareness. So that's a really good way to help with overthinking. But I'm still working on this. I could make a whole video on that.
Hi.
Okay, wow, I finished my workout in perfect timing. It is now 6:49 and Ryan just got here and I need to change out of these clothes.
Don't forget to get the abs.
Ryan, do you want to answer a question with me? I'm doing a Q&A.
Yeah.
How was dinner?
It was really good.
Okay.
Is New York a good place to live?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Elliot, is New York a good place to live?
Depends on what you want.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I was born and raised here. I would not suggest living in the suburbs of New York, though.
I was just talking to a girl from Queens at North Face when I was exchanging my jacket, and she described it. She was like, it's so boring there, so she likes having a job in the city. And I feel the same way about Alaska. It's like you need to come to New York and like do your work and work on your career. It's unparalleled, unrivaled.
Yeah, I feel like everyone here is kind of on a mission. you just walk by and then like the way they walk and everything, it makes you feel like an adult when you're here.
I like that everyone's on a mission. Nick, do you think New York is a good place to live?
Yes, I think when you're young, it's a great place to live because it makes you really uncomfortable. But that's when you learn the most.
Dude, I can steal their.
Oh my god, I threw the sandwich. I'm so sorry.
Go, stop it!
Don't let them take it.
No! It's okay, I took their onions. I'll give you a mushroom, okay? I'll give you a mushroom.
Give me an onion. Okay.
So how do you usually start these things? Do we just go?